So today our topic is animal husbandry. Animal husbandry is important part of the agriculture, and it is very general to ask a question from this topic. And animal husbandry basically means, we will first introduce animal husbandry. What do you mean by animal husbandry? Animal husbandry means rearing of the animal and getting a benefit from that. Okay, so first we will study about the role of livestock. First, the role it play is the output function. Means, if you do animal husbandry, the first thing is it provide is food. Okay, we will get a food. The second is nutritional security. India is we will say that a green revolution. After green revolution, India is known for its nutritional security or food security, because the production of food started and we got a surplus food economy. So first function of the animal husbandry, the first benefit we can say that derived from the animal husbandry is food. The second is nutritional security, and it also provide a non-foods thing like a non-food like cow dung. It also provide fertilizers, manures, etc. These are the output function of the livestock. The second function is the input function. What is input function? Means it provides drought power. Earlier when there is not a vehicle and not a development of engines and all, so animals or livestock is used as a flowing. They used for transport, they used for carting. It also provide this non-food items and it is used as a natural fertilizer. So it is the input function of the livestock. The third function is the economic function. What is economic functions? It is said that World Bank said that if we have a 1% increase in the livestock, it is 2 to 3 times increase in the income of the farmer. It will 2 to 3 times benefit the farmers. So it provides supplementary incomes. Means a 9% of the population is directly involved in this process. It also help in GDP contributions. Okay, livestock, India, UP is known for example, UP is known for its the first state having a highest meat production, and it has a major contribution in the GDP of the UP. So it also provide a supplementary income, GDP contribution, and the third thing is socio-economic security. For example, how it provide a socio-economic security? If there is a drought, if there is any thing which affect the family, so livestock, animals that were in the livestock, they help in economic recovery. The fourth function is risk coverage. Suppose income of farmer come from basically from two things. First one is from farm or crop plus livestock. Suppose if there is a disruption in the farm, or if suppose there is a erratic monsoon, if there is a crop failure, then it acts as a risk coverage. Second, it is a moving bank. For example, there is a marriage in your family and you need a money, so you can sell your livestock. As to it act as a bank for you. So it is a moving bank. Okay, it is double income. We already read from here, supplementary income. So it gives a double income. Now To quote some facts in an intro, we need some data, and the data is from the NSSO survey. It said that 20 million population is completely supported by the livestock sectors. 4% of GDP contribution, means in a GDP it contribute to 4%, and a 31% contribution in the agricultural GDP. The largest cattle population in the world. India has one of the largest cattle population in the world. It is 192 million cattle. World largest producer of milk. India is known for milk surplus country. So we have a white revolution. White revolution Vergis Kurian. You remember? So second largest producer of the fish. So it is also, so here it is written fish. So you get to know that it include crops, it include animals rearing, and it also include fisheries. You have a fisheries. So for both thing we have a, like first one is the crop, second one is the animal or cattle, and the third thing is fisheries. So what it fisheries means? Fisheries, for crop we have a green revolution. For animal and cattle we have a pink revolution. Okay, and for fisheries we have a blue revolution. So you don't need to remember it, but it is basically you have to know about it. And the second fact is first in buffalo production, second in cattle and goat, third in sheep. Livestock wealth, it has a more equitable distribution than land. It is said that the 47% people have a 67% of cattle. Generally, what is the wealth distribution in India? We have a much more inequality than other countries. Like in 1% people have a 40% of wealth. Okay, but in livestock wealth we have a 46% people have a 67% of the cattle. So here we have more equitable distributions. Now we will read about some challenges. What are the challenges in the livestock sectors? Okay, it is very interesting to know that what are the challenges in the livestock sectors. First thing we will notice that there is not any organized market in the livestock sectors, means where you can sell buffaloes, where you can sell cattle, where you can sell sheep or goats. So it is not very organized. You always see in your home or in your hometown that people came on a bike and take your goats and sheep and pay very less amount. So there is not a very organized market of it, and because of this we do not have a much more profits. So people were, and the farmers were deterred to invest in these sectors. The farmer were deterred to invest in these sectors, means do not able to do a livestock rearing at a commercial level. Second one is the shrinking and degrading pastures. Because why? So that led to limited fodder. That led to a limited fodder. If there is not of much fodder available, we already have very less nutritional availability to a cattle. The second problem is the shrinking and degrading pastures, and that ultimately led to a limited fodder. The third is livestock extension services. Livestock extension services means there are different services like transport, etc. These livestock extension services is not much more available. The fourth is diagnostic and testing facilities. Okay, diagnostic and testing facilities were not available, like milk quality, milk quality, fish quality, ठीक है, these are not able to and these things we are not able to get access very easily, so diagnostic and testing facility is not available. The fifth is microbial contamination. Microbial contamination basically means we do a meat chopping and you see in your neighbor that it is very unprofessional way, they do things very in unprofessional way, so there is always a microbial contaminations. Antibiotic residues means giving cattle's unnecessary pills, unnecessary medicines, so that they can give a much more milk and all, but ultimately this led to a antibiotic residue in their body, adulteration of a milk, adulteration of the milk products. These are the major issues we have faced today. The fourth is low productivity. Average milk yield of Indian cattle is 50% of the global average. ग्लोबल एवरेज का सिर्फ 50% है एवरेज मिल्क यील्ड. ओके, वाई? बिकॉज ऑफ लैक ऑफ fodder, because of lack of testing facilities, because of lack of adultery, because of lack of what, livestock extension services. So you can quote this: organized market shrinking, pasture livestock extension services, diagnostic and testing facilities, microbial contaminations, low productivity. So these are the things. Now government step. The government first, it introduced a mission, that is National Livestock Mission. It is focused on productivity, entrepreneurship and employment conservation, capacity building and force submission under it. ठीक है. Entrepreneurship means you are not means converting agriculture into a agri business. Okay, agriculture into agri business. So entrepreneurship, employment conservation. The second is National Mission on Bovine Productivity, increasing the milk production, trade of livestock, e-market development. So for that, it developed a Pasu Sanjeevani for animal wellness program, advanced breeding tech means for a better breedings, and better cross means a variation in genetics, so that they able to crossbreed very effectively. E-Pashu Heart and the National Bovine Genomic Center for Indigenous Breed. So you can learn from it here that Pashu Sanjeevani, Advanced Breeding Tech, E-Pashu Heart and National Bovine Genomic Center for Indigenous Breed. The third mission they do is the conservation of the indigenous breed. Rashtriya Gokul Mission for conservation of the indigenous breed. Rashtriya indigenous. Okay, you can learn from it. You can get a hint from it that Rashtriya Gokul Mission indigenous breed के लिए for conservation. Breed improvement plans, artificial insemination services means for inseminating the animals we need a services very effectively, very very periodically. For that there is artificial insemination services. Establishment of a Gokul Gram, Gopalan Sangh and Kamdhenu breeding centers. So you can write this like this. You can make this Kamdhenu, Gopalan Sangh, and you can hear it Gokul Gram. So you can make this Rashtriya Gokul Mission. Second one is Kisan Rail for easy transportation of the livestock, Krishi Udan. Okay. Now Animal Husbandry Infrastructure Development Fund was created by the NABARD. It provides a 15,000 crore investment, employment generation ability and a value addition in the agriculture sector. Way forward is what? We do a crossbreeding so that there is less impact of changing climate. Second one is increasing commercialization. For that there is a e-commerce. Second one is quality fodder availability. Public-private partnership, grazing policy in the forest, and testing and diagnostic facilities. Increasing agriculture credit. 4% of total agriculture credit. Okay. means the livestock sectors get only 4% of the total agriculture credit. It is very less, so we have to increase the agricultural credit for livestock sectors specifically. Now we study the pink revolution. Pink revolution refer to the modernization, that is specialization, mechanization and standardization of the process of meat and poultry processing sectors. Okay, we'll get to know that pink revolution basically refer to modernizing the meat and poultry sectors, meat and poultry processing sectors. So here is some fact. In 2040, India surpassed Brazil and Australia to become the largest bovine meat exporting country in the world. Bovine meat become India's top agriculture export items. Ahead basmati rice, means we export bovine meat more than basmati rice. Okay? The second is India meat is primarily exported to Middle East and Southeast Asia. India ranked third in the world in terms of total egg production. Okay? Egg production has increased by 6.7%. Among the states, Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu and Telangana have the highest egg producing states in India. The top 5 meat producing states is Maharashtra, Uttar Pradesh, West Bengal, Andhra Pradesh and Telangana. About 10% of the rural forces in India involved in livestock sectors and 26% of total agriculture value added by this sector. Now, what are the challenges faced by the Indian meat sector? It is part of livestock sectors, means you do not have to remember the challenges separately for every sectors. Okay? You just have to make a general points for one sectors and you can give a value addition in that for different sector. Like inadequate ability of feeds and fodder, you already read in the livestock challenges. The second is non-availability of superior pedigree of breeding, you already learn it. High mortality rate, morbidity due to losses to disease. Second one is inadequate market. For that we will do what? E-commerce. Now, concern in meat animals and production. Processing and value addition of a meat in India is around 21%, mainly due to the processing of buffalo meat. Okay. Now some initiatives by the government. 100% FDI, foreign direct investment. 100% FDI permitted through automatic route in food and processing sectors. Concessional rate custom duty on imported equipments. 100% income tax exempted on processing food. Food processing fund with 2000 crore created under NABARD for providing affordable credit. So you read or you can quote some points, you can quote some fact in intro. Write this in main body. Role of livestock sectors in main body. Challenges you can quote. Okay, you have to remember only 5. Government steps. National livestock missions. Explain some points on it. National mission on bovine poverty. Rashtriya Gokul missions. Explain some point. You can make a triangle and do a Gokul Gram, Gopalan Sangh, Kamdhenu. You can write on these things. Kishan Rail, Krishi Udan. Now we can write way forward, crossbreeding, commercialization, fodder availability, grazing policy, increase agricultural credit. Pink revolution, you can quote some facts. You cannot easily remember all the fact, but you can quote some fact on it, so it make your answer very credible. Challenges you can quote. Okay, for every sectors make some general points on challenges, and you can write in every way. You can write it in any way. So it is very important. You can have at least 5 challenges on your tip. Some initiatives. So here we got finish. We will meet in next class with a new agriculture